The instant gratification Gladiator. We've all seen them. First up, the instant gratification Gladiator. This is the person who buys the new iPhone the day it drops, even though their current phone works perfectly fine because they deserve it. They are locked in a constant battle between the me right now and the me in the future. And right now, me is winning. They will happily fork over $15 for a fancy cocktail that evaporates in 10 minutes, but will complain about the $15 Netflix subscription they use every day. The visual here is a hand reaching for a shiny new gadget on a conveyor belt, while a small pile of cash burns in the background. They choose the bird in the hand, even if the bird is just a cheap plastic flamingo, while completely ignoring the two that could be in the bush if they just waited a little bit. This is the #1 wealth killer, trading long-term security for short-term dopamine. The sunk cost captain. Next up, meet the sunk cost captain. This person is standing in a movie theater 30 minutes into the worst film of the year, surrounded by spilled popcorn. They aren't leaving. Why? Because they paid $20 for the ticket. Their logic is airtight. I've already invested the money, so I have to get my money's worth. In finance, this translates to holding on to a dying stock just because you bought it at a higher price. It's a portrait of a person clinging to a broken umbrella in a hurricane because they paid full price for it while refusing to buy a new one that actually works. They pour good money after bad, hoping to turn a loss into a win, not based on data, but based on pride. The visual is a man stubbornly sitting in a dark theater, fuming, with a digital timer counting up the minutes of his life he is losing. The loss aversion lion. This brings us to the loss aversion lion. This character is so terrified of losing what they have that they never try to gain more. Picture a person with a perfectly safe 0.5% savings account, while ignoring a safe 5% opportunity. They see the 4.5% difference not as possible extra money, but as possible loss of my original money. They are the financial equivalent of a lion that won't cross a river because the water is a little murky, even though a fat, juicy zebra is on the other side. They hold on to dead-weight relationships, dead-end jobs, and dying investments because the fear of the loss feels worse than the pain of the miss. The visual is a gambler who wins a small pot at a casino and immediately hides the chips in his pocket, refusing to play another hand for the rest of the night. The anchored architect. Let's be honest, in every store you'll find the anchored architect. This is the person who sees a jacket with a price tag crossed out. Was $500, the sticker says, now $250. And they think, what a steal. They don't even look at the quality of the jacket. They look at the number that was placed there to manipulate them. They are building their reality around the first piece of information they receive. In salary negotiations, they ask for a $50,000 raise because they heard the guy next to them got that much, not because they know the value of their own work. The visual is a mental image of a ship anchored to the seabed, trying to sail forward but going in circles. They are stuck on arbitrary numbers, chasing discounts on things they don't need, while missing the real opportunities right in front of them. The Status Quo Sentinel. Now, for the fifth type, we have the Status Quo Sentinel. If you mention changing jobs or diversifying your portfolio, they flinch. They are standing guard over their normality. They have their money in the same checking account they opened when they were 16. They avoid the complexity of investing because it requires learning something new. This is the person who uses a 15-year-old computer because it still works, ignoring the fact that they waste 2 hours a day waiting for it to load. They are losing money through procrastination fees, the rising cost of doing nothing. The visual is a comedic shot of a knight in rusty armor, standing in a modern office, trying to block a door with a wooden shield while the world rushes past him. The Bandwagon Buffalo. Finally, we have the Bandwagon Buffalo. This person buys Bitcoin when their neighbor buys it. They sell Bitcoin when their neighbor sells it. They are the herd, following the stampede off the cliff. They see a crowded restaurant and assume it must be good, even if the place just hired a cheaper chef. In the stock market, they buy high when everyone is cheering and sell low when everyone is panicking. They spend their money chasing trends, hoping to ride a wave that is already broken. The visual is a bunch of lemmings or buffalo jumping off a cliff, but mid-air, they transform into dollar signs and crash into a pile of nothing. They mistake movement for progress and noise for information, letting the collective opinion dictate their personal value. So, if you recognize yourself in any of these characters, don't worry. We've all been the gladiator or the captain at some point. The first step to financial freedom is just awareness. Stop the autopilot, question your own brain, and start making decisions based on logic, not just feelings. It's your money. Don't let your lizard brain spend it. If this video made you think, hit that like button and subscribe for more.